Hi guys, it's Mary, welcome back to my channel. I've got another DIY video for you today. So I've been pretty sick recently, like feeling so rough, and I don't know about everyone else, but for me the first thing that I notice when I get sick is that my lips go so dry and so chapped and so sore, and it's really miserable when you feel that way. It's really horrible, it's just kind of annoying. So I wanted to make some lip balms because I started doing some research a little while back about lip balm because I was getting chapped lips all the time. And when I was doing that research, I read that using things like petroleum jelly, which is Vaseline, which is kind of what I was using all the time, stuff like that, although it feels moisturizing on your lips when you put it on, it's actually taking moisture out of your lips over time, and so it's making the problem worse. And I was just like, great, so that's where I've been going wrong. So then I kind of decided that I would have to try making my own lip balm, and I wanted to try a few different things. So I've come up with these 3 different lip products to show you. The first one we've got is a lip scrub. This is really similar to the sort of lip scrubs you get in Lush. This one specifically has got manuka honey in it, and manuka honey is really good for you. And then the next one I got is this lip balm, and this is like a plumping lip balm, and then obviously it's also slightly tinted, and that's actually what I'm wearing right now on my lips. I love this one. This is definitely my favourite out of the 3. I mean, I love them all, but this is my favourite. I've been wearing this constantly. It doesn't go down very quickly as well, which is good. I've honestly been wearing this non-stop since I made it, and I just love it. It's like super creamy and smooth, and it goes on really nicely, and my lips have felt so much better since I've been using it. So yeah, love this. And then the final one I made is kind of more of a kind of everyday lip balm if you don't want something tinted, and this one is really soothing because it's got lavender in it. Anyway, I'm just going to get into the DIY before I start rambling. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so for this DIY project you're going to need 3 bowls, or if you're only making one of the lip balms you're only going to need 1 bowl, but basically as many bowls as you're going to make lip products. And then you're going to need some containers, obviously. So I chose to use these little round containers because I think they're quite cute and I quite like my lip balm in pots, but you can also go on Amazon or somewhere and buy the tubes to pour it in, and it works exactly the same way. So it's just up to personal preference really. So we're going to start off with our lip scrub. So for this you're going to need some oil, some vanilla extract, some honey and caster sugar. So to start off with, you want to put about a tablespoon of oil, about a capful of vanilla extract and about a teaspoon of the honey into your bowl. Once you've added all those ingredients together, you just want to start mixing them up. And then from this point onwards we're going to start adding our caster sugar. You basically just want to add a little bit at a time, give it a mix and kind of see what you're left with afterwards, and then just keep adding more until you've got the consistency you want. So the kind of consistency you're going for here is slightly crumbly, and when you kind of put your finger in it you get a good amount of sugar on your finger. So you'll kind of be able to see once I've finished adding the sugar what it looks like and what sort of texture you're going for, or if you've ever seen a lip scrub before you'll kind of know what you're looking for. So yeah, just keep on adding that caster sugar. So for this one I chose to use avocado oil because it's really moisturising and it's got quite a lot of natural vitamin E, which has not only got sunscreen properties but also again it's got really moisturising healing properties. And I also chose to use manuka honey because of its healing properties. Manuka honey is really well known for being kind of antibacterial, antimicrobial, really good for you in kind of all senses. But you don't have to use these, you can use kind of any liquid oil that you want. It does need to be liquid because obviously if you use something like coconut oil that is solid, it's kind of gonna mean that your lip scrub is quite solid at the end and doesn't necessarily kind of give you enough sugar to actually exfoliate your lips when you're trying to get it out. So once you've kind of got the consistency that seems right to you and you like the look of, you basically just want to put it into your little pots and you're pretty much done. So at this point, when I was making it, I decided that because I had these super cute like silver cake decorations, I wanted to add them into my lip scrub just to add a little extra cuteness factor. But again, that was just me kind of having a bit of fun with it and being a bit crazy at that point. And there you go, that is pretty much it for the lip scrub. It was super easy to make, as you can see, so I would definitely recommend giving this a try because the ingredients for this definitely cost a lot less than going and buying a lip scrub from somewhere like Lush. And it's completely customizable because you can kind of choose what oil you use. You can add like different food flavorings if you want a bit more flavor. You can kind of choose whether you want to add the honey or not if you're vegan, for example, and you don't want to use honey. So next we're going to be making our plumping lip balm. So for this lip balm you're going to need beeswax, oil. I've chosen to use avocado oil because it's got quite a lot of natural vitamin E which helps with the plumping properties. And then some sort of butter, like something like cocoa butter or shea butter. And some essential oils. I'm using cinnamon and peppermint. And then if you want to tint your lip balm, you're going to need some sort of colouring. So first thing you want to do is add together a tablespoon of your oil, a tablespoon of your beeswax, and a tablespoon of your chosen butter. None of these measurements have to be perfectly exact, but basically we're going for a ratio of 1 to 1 to 1. Once you've added all them together, you're going to want to take them over to your stove and melt them on using a double boiler method. So basically there's water in the bottom pan and then you put your glass bowl on top, but you just want to make sure the bowl doesn't touch the water. And you just kind of keep stirring it all until it all starts to melt together. You could actually also melt these in the microwave if you wanted to. Just make sure you do it in short bursts and give it a good stir in between so that you don't kind of burn anything. And once that's all nicely mixed, it's time to add our essential oils and our colouring. So the reason that I chose peppermint and cinnamon essential oils is because both of these is what's going to give this its plumping properties. I mean, if you've ever used anything plumping before, you'll know that a lot of the time what they use is menthol, but cinnamon also has this property. And for colouring, I chose to use the kind of red candy colouring because it's oil based, it will mix really well and it gives it just a really subtle tint. But you could also use something like your favourite lipstick colour. You just need to add the tiniest little bit of the lipstick and mix it in until it's kind of all melted in. I'm using about 10 to 15 drops of the essential oil, but again, you can vary this slightly depending on kind of the flavour and strength that you want. And once you've added all that all in, you just got to give it a really good stir. And you're pretty much done by this point. It is just a case of stirring it all up and putting it into the pots and then sticking it in the fridge to kind of solidify. I mean, you can actually just leave it out to solidify, but just done a little bit quicker if you leave it in the fridge. And it really is as easy as that to make your own plumping lip balm. If you wanted to make more than I did, because obviously I only made just over 3 pots, then you just need to remember that when you're mixing the oil, the butter and the beeswax, you just need a ratio of 1 to 1 to 1. So just stick to that ratio and increase the amounts. So finally, we're going to be making our moisturising lip balm. So the first thing is your oil. So I chose to use hemp oil for this one. And then you've got your beeswax again. And finally your butter again. So this time I'm using cocoa butter. I wanted to use a mixture of kind of different oils and different butters so that I could show that you really can make this your own. You could even use a combination of both cocoa butter and shea butter, or a few different oils. And then obviously again we've got our essential oil, so for this one I'm using lavender because it's got such good soothing properties. So we're going to start off again with our 1:1:1 ratio, just mixing our oil, beeswax and butter. And again, like I said before, you don't actually have to be perfectly exact with these. With the cocoa butter, for example, it's a bit harder to exactly get 1 tablespoon, so I just kind of eyeballed it and chose something that looked kind of about the right size. But if you did want to be more precise, you could grate the cocoa butter up and then use kind of the grated cocoa butter to measure out a tablespoon. Okay, so now we're just going to head back over to the stove and to our double boiler and start to melt all of these ingredients together. So the reason I've chosen hemp oil for this one is because hemp oil has really good kind of healing properties and moisturising properties, and also has some anti-aging properties, so I thought that would be perfect for the soothing lip balm. And again, that's why I chose lavender as the essential oil for this one, because it's got those soothing healing properties. But kind of the point of this is that you can really make this your own. You can choose any ingredients you want, which is why I wanted to show a range of ingredients. And you can use a mixture of different oils and a mixture of different butters. And as well, if you wanted to make this vegan, you've got vegan options for the waxes as well. So a really popular one that lots of people use making their vegan lip balms is Candelilla wax. So there you go. Once that's all mixed, we've got to take it back over and it's time to add our essential oil. So trying to try something new and go for those really healing properties, thought I'd add a bit of honey into this. But actually I wouldn't recommend this because unfortunately honey doesn't really mix very well with these kind of oil-based lip balm recipes, I found out. I think because honey must be kind of more water-based than oil-based, so it doesn't really mix in, it just sinks to the bottom, so I wouldn't really recommend putting honey in. So basically you're just going to want to add in your essential oil, again using about 10 to 15 drops, and mix it all up like we did before with the other one. And then pour it into your pots, and again you're pretty much done by this point. You've just got to leave the pots to harden. You can either put them in the fridge or leave them out. They'll obviously harden up a bit quicker in the fridge, and you're left with a really lovely lip balm. You can see me here desperately trying to make the honey work, keeping on stirring it between each one, but it just really doesn't mix in, so I really wouldn't recommend putting honey in. Or if anyone does know of a way to really incorporate honey into a lip balm recipe, please let me know, because I would love to be able to use Manuka honey because it is so good for you. And there you go, that's all of our 3 different lip products done. And they look so cute, and actually you could make these into a really nice gift if you kind of made some nice labels to put on them, or you could even sell them. Like, these are so nice, so lovely to use. So yeah, I'd really recommend giving this DIY a go, guys, next time you need a lip balm rather than going out and buying one. Anyway, if you've enjoyed watching this video, which I hope you have, don't forget to like and subscribe.